Yeah, today concept is about data types in Python. So before going to the theory part of what is data type and all, first let's have a discussion on how why do you need data types at first place? Why do you need data type at first place? So let's say data types are used to represent different items, different data in simple terms. What do you mean by different data? In the see what kind of data we have? We have alphabets, right? Let's say if you want to store location details, or if you want to store some names, some let's say some uh, goods names. So here, if you observe it, these are this information is available in the form of alphabet only, right? Are you clear? Let's say if you are a name, we have to specify. If it is comes under the alphabet, we have to write something inside the code. So let's say pin code, right? We have a requirement to store pin code. We have a requirement to store salary information. For example, we have a requirement to store some kind of other information like percentage, decimal places. So here, if you observe it, in generally, manaki we have different types of data, guys. In generally, so అదేంటంటే alphabet, it could be alphanumeric, it could be alphabet, it could be only the number, it could be in the form of fractional point like floating point. Like that, we have to represent our real world data in some way so that Python can understand it. Okay, so let's write some basic data types. Basic data types. Basic data type. First one is I want to store place names. Place a see if you see any place which is the combination of what you can say the letters, right, guys? It is combination of letters only, alphanumeric or alphabet, right? So let's say if you want to store some kind of place name, it is those are comes under the alphabet, English characters. So in that case, Python provide a string data type. String data type to store alphabets or alphanumeric characters in Python. So let's say location is equal to kphp. Okay, state equal to tj. Okay, so like that we have whenever we want to store some data which is related to the English characters, that time we definitely should use data type called string only. So string is used to represent the alphanumeric characters in Python. So wherever we see this kind of codes, that particular value we call it as a string value or string object. So if you want to store names also you cannot store name like this. if you try to access like this, Python is consider this one as a one other identifier like this, but we did not define anything. So in order to store any alphanumeric thing, we definitely need to use string data type. So for example, if you want to store numbers, number is another category of data, right? In general terms, numbers are another category of data. Let's say age is equal to 33. Okay, pin code equal to 50072. Okay, and interest rate, for example, 33.05. This is interest rate, right? So like that, whenever your application, your requirement needs to deal with the number type, number category kind of data, that time we have to deal with either integer or string or float. Let's say age is equal to 33. Let's see it. Type of age. What is this data type? Integer. Because 33 comes under Python also automatically detect the data type of this variable based on the value we are assigning. This value will be considered as an integer. Let's say type of, if I have a number like this, 33.5. Whenever we have a number that has some dot fractional points, that time it is considered as a float, because this is float in general terms also. So type of, 1 minute guys, let me bring this up. Type of 4 plus 3j. What is this? Real part and imaginary part, right? Complex numbers. This we call it as a, whenever we have this kind of thing, j's or something, this part is, we call it as a complex number. So generally we won't deal in normal applications, but Python will consider this kind of thing as a complex numbers. So if you want to store some kind of a multiple values, let's say data is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Python provides a list, and we have another data type, tuple. Tuple also is the same thing, but there is a difference between list and tuple. I am not going in depth about what is list, what is tuple, what we can do with list and tuple. There will be separate classes for every data type next. I am just giving introduction about what kind of data types available. I'm just explaining the purpose of each data type. Whenever you want to deal with multiple values, see it guys. List open, list goes. Inside this, we have written the all numbers. But these all what numbers are not. So list of integers. Because if it is a number, it comes under the int data type. It is a list of integers. If I say data is equal to 2.2, 3.3. So when I refer data, I am getting 2.2, 3.3. So whatever I have stored here, I stored. Am I able to store multiple values or not? Inside this list, I am able to store any number of values. So whenever you want to deal with multiple values, some group of values into one group, one particular container, that time you can define them as a one list or on tuple. See it. So let's see that what type it is. Data, right? It is considering as a list because Python will automatically recognize whenever we created any object with these brackets. So next let's do some examples on tuple. Tuple also used to store read-only values. Okay, read-only values. So let me, I will tell you, list is a immutable object and tuple is immutable object and all, but it creates a confusion for you now. But I will tell you when we are discussing about tuple especially. What is read-only, what is read-write, and everything we discuss. So how do you create tuple? Let's say gender equal to male comma female. See, why I am saying read only. See, whenever we are storing anything in the tuple, that is not changeable. That's why I am saying read only anamata. So ఇక్కడ మెయిల్ అండ్ ఫీమేల్ ఇది కాకుండా వేరే జెండర్ ఉండే ఛాన్స్ లేదు కదా. అంటే దీన్ని మ్యానిపులేషన్ చేసే ఛాన్స్ అనేది నో నీడ్ టు మ్యానిపులేట్ దిస్, రైట్? ఇట్స్ ఫిక్స్డ్. ఇన్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్ సిచ్యువేషన్ వి యూజ్ ద టపుల్ యాక్చువల్లీ. ఓకే, ఇట్లా లిస్ట్ తో లిస్ట్ బ్రాకెట్స్ యూస్ చేస్తేనేమో ఇట్ కన్సిడర్ యాజ్ అ లిస్ట్. ఇఫ్ యూజ్ parentheses like this, it will be considered as a tuple object. So let's see it. Python is considering as a list or tuple, this gender one. It is a tuple, but here it is a list because it's a list brackets. Python considering this one as a list object, Python considering this one as a tuple object. So like this, Python provides a different data types, guys. Okay, So every data type has their unique functionality. Integer has a integer specific functionality. Okay. Float has a float specific functionality. String has a string specific functionality. And a list has a list specific functionality. Tuple has a tuple specific functionality. Dictionary has a dict specific functionality. So every data type is there for some purpose. Okay. It's based on your need. You may have to use integer data type internally. You may have to deal with the string data. You may have to deal with the list, tuple, or dict. So these three is deal with the multiple values. These are like a primitive data types. These are non-primitive data types. Primitive in the sense, very simple thing. It deals with single value. If it is a non-primitive means it is going to deal with the more than one value. It's kind of a multiple values dealing. Handling. Okay. Everyone clear on this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can someone confirm? Is it any doubts here? జనరల్ గా మనం ఏదైనా ఒక డేటాని ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లో రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలంటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ కూడా తెలియాలి కదా అది ఏ టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా అనేది. మనకు బయట రియల్ వరల్డ్ లోనే నెంబర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆల్ఫాబెట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆల్ఫా న్యూమరిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అవునా? ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ కేటగిరీస్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ కేటగిరీ ఏందనేది పైథాన్కి కూడా తెలియాలి కదా. అంటే మనం ఇచ్చిన వాల్యూని బట్టి పైథాన్ ఆటోమేటిక్ డిటెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటుంది, అప్రాపరేట్ డేటా టైప్కి మ్యాప్ చేసుకుంటుంది. అంటే ఎవ్రీ డేటా టైప్కి ఒక్కొక్క స్పెసిఫిక్ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ ఉంటుంది ఇంటర్నల్గా. ఓకేనా? ఆ ఫంక్షనాలిటీ కావాల్సినప్పుడు ఓన్లీ ఇప్పుడు లిస్ట్ అయితే లిస్ట్ ఆపరేషన్సే చేయగలుగుతావు, టపుల్ అయితే టపుల్ ఆపరేషన్సే చేయగలుగుతావు. అదే లిస్ట్లో ఉన్న ఫంక్షనాలిటీ టపుల్లో ఉండదు, టపుల్లో ఉన్న ఫంక్షనాలిటీ లిస్ట్లో ఉండదు. అర్థమవుతుందా? దేర్ ఈజ్ ఏ పర్పస్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ డేటా టైప్. ఓకే. అప్రాపరేట్గా ఏ డేటా టైప్ ఎప్పుడు ఇచ్చేయాలనేది మనకు ప్రాక్టీస్ పైన నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫ్యూచర్లో చేస్తాం కదా, అప్పుడు అర్థమవుతుంది. యూ విల్ గెట్ టు నో ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అబౌట్ ఇన్ డీటెయిల్ వెన్ యూ విల్ యూజ్ లిస్ట్, వెన్ యూ విల్ యూజ్ టపుల్. బట్ just remember that we have different data types in Python. Each data type is to deal with the different kind of data. Clear? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's go to the theory part, and again we come back to the some examples on this particular data type. Again, I am just giving some introduction why we have this kind of data types available in Python. Okay, let me go there. So data types in Python. What is data type? What is data type? Data types are the classification or categorization of data items. Classification in the sense alphanumeric or numeric or alphabet. These are the different categorization of the data. In order to represent our data digitally, we need to categorize our data. Are you going to deal with numbers, or are you going to deal with alphabet, or are you going to deal with alphanumeric? Because our information need to be handled in a way. Getting my point? So Python also, based on the data what you are dealing, it will internally map to appropriate data type automatically. It represents the kind of value that tells what operation can be performed on a particular data. That means that I just say every data type has their own unique operation, unique functionality. So that's what is saying. It represents the kind of value. Data type represents the kind of some value that tells what operation can be performed on particular data. అంటే that means ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇంటిజర్స్ ఉందనుకో, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 10 ఉంది, 10 + 20 అంటున్నా. సో ఇక్కడ ఈ పైథాన్ దీన్ని ఇట్ ఈస్ కన్సిడర్ యాజ్ ఇంటిజర్, దిస్ వన్ ఆల్సో కన్సిడర్ ఇంటిజర్. అంటే ఇంటిజర్కి ప్లస్ ఆపరేషన్ అనేది సపోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది. 30 వచ్చేసింది. అదే నేను ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 10 + స్ట్రింగ్లో సమ్ ఇట్లా ఇస్తున్నా, ఇది అసలు ఇన్వాలిడ్ ఆపరేషన్ కదా. దిస్ ఆపరేషన్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇన్వాలిడ్. దేర్ ఈస్ నో నీడ్ టు concatenate number with the string, right? In generally, what is saying? Unsupported operator type for plus I int and string. This is integer, this is string. Plus operation is not supported between integer and string. That means that every data type has their own unique functionality. Getting my point?
అంటే నెంబర్ ఉంటేనే నెంబర్ తీసుకుంటారు.
యా నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు జనరల్ గా రియల్ టైమ్ సినారియో చెక్ చేసుకో. మనం బయటైనా సరే నెంబర్ తోనే చేస్తాం కానీ లెట్స్ ఏజ్ 30 ప్లస్ నేమ్ అని ఇట్లా చేయలేం కదా. ఇది రాంగ్ ఆపరేషన్ కదా జనరల్ గా. నెంబర్స్ ని డీల్ చేస్తున్నావు అంటే నువ్వు మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో థింక్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, who asked that out? Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Yes, clear.
సో నెంబర్స్ మనం జనరల్ గా మ్యాథ్స్ లో నెంబర్సే కదా డీల్ చేసేది. అయితే నెంబర్స్ ను ఆల్ఫా న్యూమరిక్స్ డీల్ చేయం కదా. అట్లానే పైథాన్ లో కూడా నువ్వు నెంబర్స్ ని డీల్ చేస్తున్నావు అంటే ఆ నెంబర్స్ తోనే మనం చేయగలుగుతాం ఏదైనా ఆపరేషన్స్. అంటే ఇంటిజర్ అయితే కొన్ని ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్ సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాయి. సేమ్ డేటా టైప్ అయితే ఆల్మోస్ట్ అన్ని ఆపరేషన్స్ సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాయి. కొన్నిసార్లు డిఫరెంట్ డేటా టైప్స్ వర్క్ అవ్వదు. ఓకే, is it clear guys this part? Yeah, I think okay. Variables can store different type of data types. Different types can do different things. Just now discussed, variable can store data of different types. Different types can do different things. So it seems logical. Let me explain you that. We know what is variable, right? Let's say first underscore name is equal to Sham. Okay. Last underscore name is equal to let's say some SSS. Here this variable is stored the string data. This variable is store the string data, and let's say salary equal to 50,000. This variable store the what? Integer data. So what I mean by is variable can store data of different types. Yes, this is the variable. Yeah, it is able to store the string data, and also variables can able to store the integer data. Basically variable is to store any Python object that could be integer or string or anything, and different types can do different things. So string do string things, integer do integer things. Getting my point guys? So let's take some examples. So I want full name. How do you get full name? You have to first underscore name plus last underscore name. Am I getting full name or not? If you do the same thing on numbers, it will do the mathematical operation and give it to you, right? If I say 10 plus 20, 10 plus 30, I am getting 40. If we do same operation by using string, what we are going to get? Let's see. ఏమొస్తుంది అవుట్పుట్ చెక్ చేద్దాం. ఇక్కడ 2030 అంటే డేటా టైప్ ని బట్టి ఈ ఆపరేషన్ అనేది బిహేవియర్ అనేది చేంజింగ్, రైట్? సేమ్ ఆపరేషన్ ఆన్ సేమ్ థింగ్, బట్ హియర్ it is a integer. Integer means it's a number plus number is the sum of the numbers, right? But in this case it is a string. String plus string means it will just combine and give you as an output. It is not going to do any mathematical operation because these are the strings, not the numbers. Just combine these two, given as output. So one type can do one thing, another type can do another thing. Different types can do different things. Clear guys? Yeah. So next, since everything is an object in Python programming, data types are actually the classes, variables are the instance of the class, these classes. So when I go to the object oriented, we'll get to know what is class, what is instance. But for now, I will show you. Since everything is an object in Python programming language, data types are actually the classes. Let's see it. Actually, classes are not. Type of 30. Each value is automatically mapped to appropriate class in the Python. Let's see. to which class this one is mapped? It mapped to which class, guys? Integer. If I say type of 44.4, which is mapped to what? Float. If I say type of string, some string, for example, which is mapped to what? str. See, if you observe it, based on the value, it is mapping to the appropriate internal class of Python, right? It is mapping to the internal class of integer. It is mapping to the class of float. It is mapping to the class of string. So that whatever the functionality, whatever the actions there inside the class, those actions can be performed on these values. So do not worry what is class, what is instance. While discussing about object-oriented programming, we will go in depth about this. But just remember, everything is an object in Python programming. Like data types are actually the classes. It classes are not, and variables are the instance of those classes. Here, first name. This is the instance of the string object. This is the instance of string object. This is the instance of what? Integer object. Okay. So let's come down. Types of data in programming language. Types of data in programming language. We have a text type. Whenever you are discussing about some kind of text type, that means that alpha, beta, alphanumeric, that time we go with the string quotation, string, double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes. It could be anything. If you are dealing with the numeric types, that comes under the integer, float, and complex. We just now discussed it. If you are dealing with the sequence types, those could be sequence in the sense if you are dealing with multiple values sequentially. That could be list or tuple or range. We have this kind of data type, sequence types. If you are dealing with some kind of a one-to-one mapping, that time we go with the dictionary. And after that we have a set like this. If you want to deal with some true or false kind of values, that time Python provides a bool data type. You are going to deal with only these kind of data types every day. If you are able to know what is string, what is int, what is float, and what is list, tuple, range, dictionary, set, and bool, you are almost done with the basics of Python programming language. So these are different types. Each type represents different kind of data. So what are the data types available? Here we have a numeric. If it is a numeric, integer, float, and complex number. We have a dictionary, we have a boolean, we have a set, we have a sequence type. Just now we discussed string, list, tuple. There are some other advanced data structures also. But these are like a very basic thing. Everyone should be familiar with this. Okay, we no need to discuss about numbers. We know what is numbers. We no need to discuss about strings. All alphabets or anything is representing data in the form of alphabet or alphanumeric. Those comes under the strings only. So we need to do special concentration on dictionary, list to tuple mainly. Okay, set. So here I given some introduction. What is data type numeric? And given some description about this. Just please go through these data definitions and try to understand what is numeric, float, what is complex, what is the use of type function. Type function is used to determine the type of data. Here we use it, right? Type function. Type passes some value type. So this type function will determine what type of data this value is, right? It's a string. Here it's a float. That's why it is written as a float. Type function is a built-in function which is used to determine the type of data type. Type of this data type. String or float or this one. And some examples of numeric types. Create a variable to store into data type. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. A data type is integer or not? B data type also integer. Because it's a number, Python will map this to the integer data type. Create a variable to store float data type. So when will Python consider as a float any value? if you have some kind of this points, right? 10 decimal points, 10.5, Python will consider this one as a float data type. This is also a float data type. So create a variable to store complex data type. A is equal to a plus 2j. Let's say 2 plus 4j. This is complex number. There is a real part and imaginary part. So if you know mathematics, you'll get to know what is complex and all. I'm not going in depth about that, but generally numeric types is going to be either integer or float or complex. Find the data type of a built-in function. Let's say write a program to find the data type of a data. Here, if you observe it, I am giving a is equal to 5, right? I am giving a is equal to 5. Here, type of, I'm just printing it is a print statement, guys. Nothing to worry here. Let me show you this. A is equal to 10. Print is used to just print the message. Data type, whatever I have written here, that is coming here. And whatever the output this function is returning, when I call this one here, it is returning this. When I call this one inside this bracket, this is just returning that same thing. And just to print is a statement used to print the output of the any expression we have given here. ఓకేనా, ఇక్కడ ఏదైతే కోడ్ మనం ఇస్తామో ఆ కోడ్ అవుట్పుట్ ఏదైతే రిటర్న్ అవుతుందో అది మనకు అవుట్పుట్ స్క్రీన్ లో డిస్ప్లే చేసుకోవడానికి మనం ప్రింట్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. జస్ట్ అవుట్పుట్ ప్రింట్ చేసుకోవడానికి. ఓకే, సో ఈ విధంగా నేను అన్నిటికీ ఒక్కొక్క ఐ హావ్ రిటర్న్ ద టైప్ థింగ్ ఫర్ ద ఎవ్రీ వేరియబుల్. when this is a is equal to 5, type of a, what is this? Class integer. A is equal to 5.0, type of b, what is this returning? Class float. Here 2 plus 4j, type of c. The c contain what? It's a complex number. So Python is automatically allocate the memory, allocate the data type based on the value we are assigning here. This is the proof, right? So next, let's go to the sequence type in Python. So sequence type in the sense a string, list, tuple, these are the sequence types. So what is sequence? When will you use sequence? Wow, and we are going to go through the all in-depth videos, in-depth concept of string and list and tuple when you are discussing about data types again. Today is just introduction about what kind of data types available. Okay. What is sequence in Python? In Python, sequence is a ordered collection of similar or different data types. Sequence allows to store multiple values in organized or efficient fashion. There are several sequence types in Python: string, list, tuple. So basically, sequence in the sense, if you are dealing with more than one value, that thing we call it as a sequence, guys. We store data in the form of sequence. Let's say data is equal to let 1, 2, 3. Here I'm storing in the form of 1 by 1, right, in the sequence. That's why we call them as a sequence actually. If I want to access first value, I can give the 0 index. When I give 0, 0, 1, 2 is the index positions of this list. If I want to access second value, data of 1. If I want to access third value, data of 2. Data of 2. So if I am storing anything, let's say person data is equal to, we have a age information, we have a name, and we have a some company name. Okay. Get the age. We know that age is stored in which place? 0 index. 0 index, first index, second index. So do not worry about this syntax. Use this variable. like this, open square bracket, close square bracket. Inside this, give the index. For example, I want to access the first value. So list index starts with 0. So if I give 0, am I able to get the age information or not? Get the name, right? How do you get the name? Which position our name is there? In the second position. If it is second position, index will be the -1. That means that 0, 1, 2. Person data of 1. I am getting Bhadra now. If I say I want the company details also, right? How will you get? If you give 2, I'm getting the company details also. Here, this is the last index. If you try to give index out of range, which is not there, index, I'm getting the list index out of range error. Getting my point? Because this contains only 3 index position range, 0 to 0, 1, 2. Only until 2 we have. But if you try to give 3 here, it is going to give the error, index out of range error. So this is how we store the data in the sequence, and this is how we are able to pitch the individual item by providing the index. Do not worry about this syntax. This one we call it as indexing. Okay, once we start working on the list, every day we work with this syntax only. You will get to know while practicing it. Okay, just I'm given the introduction today.
సార్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పరా ఇది?
యా, బేసిక్ గా ఇక్కడ సీక్వెన్స్ టైప్స్ అంటే ఏంటంటే మనం మల్టిపుల్ డేటా స్టోర్ చేయడానికి, రైట్? ఇక్కడ సీక్వెన్స్ allows to store multiple values in organized and efficient fashion. అంటే ఇక్కడ what I mean is, here person data is equal to I am giving 30 Bhadra and Wipro, right? So here I am able to store data like this, and I am able to access the data efficient way. If I want to access it, I know that you can provide the index position like this, right? So we discussed about sequence later. Yeah. Do not get confused. Our aim is to not go in depth about this particular data type, but generally how sequence looks like, I'm just explaining it to you. Okay. We will discuss anyhow. There are separate class for every data type later. Today, just giving the summary of all of the data types, how it looks like and all. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to the tuple data type. Even tuple also, let's say fruit names. I'm just taking tuple in the sense we have to open the bracket like this, close bracket like this. Okay, apple, for example. Okay, a mango, orange. So here, this is also a sequence object, right? Because it is storing data in the on order, right? Internally, it store data in the form of index position. So if it is index position, if I want to access the apple, this value outside, if I want to access this value, I can simply provide the index position of this value, apple. If I want to access second value, I can simply refer 1 now. I will get this one. If I want third value, simply 2. If you want done right, there is no other index. If you try to access the other value more than this index position, 2 index position, it gives the error, index out of range error, tuple index out of range. So because internally it maintains the index for one index position for the every item. Okay, now the apple ki 0, mango ki 1, orange ki 2. అలా ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఇండెక్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేసుకుంటుంది అనమాట సీక్వెన్స్ టైప్ అంటే. సో అప్పుడు ఏదైతే ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ మనం ఇక్కడ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తున్నామో ఆ ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ లో స్టోర్ అయిన వాల్యూని ఫెచ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చేస్తుంది మనకి. క్లియర్ నా? సింపుల్ అమ్మా. ఇక్కడ సీక్వెన్స్ డేటా టైప్స్ అంటే డేటా అనేది ఒక ఆర్డర్ లో స్టోర్ అయ్యి ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఇండెక్స్ అనేది మెయింటైన్ చేసుకుంటుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది వచ్చేసి 0 ఇండెక్స్ లో స్టోర్ అయింది, ఇది వచ్చేసి ఫస్ట్ ఇండెక్స్ లో స్టోర్ అయింది, ఇది వచ్చేసి సెకండ్ ఇండెక్స్ లో స్టోర్ అయింది ఇంటర్నల్ గా. నేను ఎప్పుడైతే 0 ఇస్తున్నానో ఫ్రూట్ నేమ్స్ ఆఫ్ 0 అని ఇస్తున్నానో పైథాన్ నోస్ దట్ I am requesting Python to get the value whichever stored in at the index position 0. Index position 0 లో స్టోర్ అయిన నెంబర్ ఏంటి ఇదే కదా ఐటమ్. I am getting that item. I am requesting Python to get the value in this tuple which is stored at index number 1. Index number 1 అంటే ఇదే కదా, దీంట్లో స్టోర్ అయింది మ్యాంగో కదా, ఇండెక్స్ 1 లో స్టోర్ అయింది మ్యాంగో వస్తుంది మనకి. లైక్ దట్ ఎవ్రీ వాల్యూ ఈస్ అసోసియేటెడ్ వన్ ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ ఇట్లా. ఓకే, సో ఇండెక్సింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్ మనం చాలా ఎక్కువ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చేస్తాం తర్వాత. ఎనీహౌ దిస్ ఈజ్ హౌ వి యాక్సెస్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ద సీక్వెన్స్. అలానే స్ట్రింగ్ ఉంది అనుకోండి, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేమ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు హలో వరల్డ్. Name is equal to hello world. If I want to access first character, I give 0. If I want to access second character, I give 1. If I want to third character, I give 2. Get my point? So if I want to access R, let's count that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, space also character, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the index position of R? 8. That means that if I give 8 here, I should get the 8 index position value R, right? Am I getting? If you want to access this one, you can give reverse index also, -1. If you give -1, Python directly go and give the last value. If you give -2, give the last to second value. This is -1, this is -2. But in forward access, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. In backward, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 like this. So this is how we access the data from the string or this minus and plus things. Same thing for the support for the tuple as well as the list. సో ఒక్కసారి ఒక ఐటమ్ పైన మీరు ఇండెక్సింగ్ నేర్చుకున్నారంటే అన్నిటికీ ఇండెక్సింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ సేమే. ఓకేనా? సో ఇండెక్సింగ్ ఏంటి అనేది మనం తర్వాత చూద్దాం. సీక్వెన్స్ టైప్స్ అంటే ఇలా ఉంటాయమ్మా. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు గివ్ యూ ద బ్రీఫ్ ఆఫ్ హౌ సీక్వెన్స్ లుక్స్ లైక్. క్లియర్? స్ట్రింగ్, లిస్ట్, టపుల్ ఆర్ ద సీక్వెన్స్ టైప్స్ ఇన్ పైథాన్. స్ట్రింగ్ డేటా టైప్, వాట్ ఈస్ స్ట్రింగ్? ఓకే, క్రియేటింగ్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం? సో క్రియేటింగ్ స్ట్రింగ్ విత్ సింగిల్ కోట్స్, create string with double quotes, create a string with triple quotes. So one thing is create string in Python. How do you create string? We can create string in Python by using what? Single quotes. Single quote means this one, right? Or double quotes. Double quotes means open, close, and or triple quotes also. Triple quotes. Okay, triple quotes in the sense this is one opening, this is closing. Clear, guys? Let me show you that. So age is equal to not age. So let me take another example. Movie name. Movie name is equal to RRR. I at just no sorry. ఇక్కడ just now I created one string with double quotes, right? Double quotes open, double quotes close. Inside this, I have written like this. So I am defining the same thing with single quotes. Let's see, Python is allowing me or not. Still there is no error, right? If I try to do something with the triple quotes, RRR, triple quotes close. Is there any error here? No, right? That means that in Python, you can create string either way, either single quote or double quote or triple quotes. It does not matter. whatever thing we defined inside the quotes, we consider as a string only by default. Okay. Everyone clear on this part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everything is string. Okay. So let's go to some examples. Welcome to the world. A string one is equal to welcome to Python world. Print string one. When I print this one, whatever value it is coming. Name is equal to Bhadra. Print name Bhadra. Location is equal to Hyderabad. Print location Hyderabad. Coming na? Output. Print is just a output statement. So accessing elements from the string, I said like, right? st, for example, this is the value string. First character is associated with 0 index. Second character associated with first into second, third, fourth, fifth. If you want to access the sequence object in the backward order, starts with -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. We just discussed right this part. Let me give that that part also. Accessing string elements, string values, for example. Let's take one example. Let's take a location address. Address is equal to flat number flat 301 flat 301. Just I'm giving it. So I want to access this quotation. I want to access this quotation, this colon actually, this colon. So I just now just see the below. Here, instead of flat colon, and I remove the colon, it creates a confusion, guys. Sorry. Let me take the same example here. Okay. string. String, string, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 characters are there. In our string also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This could be anything. I'm just taking string as one example for you to just represent this one. Here, if I want to access this one, what is the index position of this value? 0, right? If I want to access second value, 1, no. If I want to access third value, index position is 2. For this, index position is 3. For this, index position is 4. For this, index position is 5. This is forward way of accessing. అదే మీరు బ్యాక్వర్డ్ లో కూడా యాక్సెస్ చేయాలనుకో, జీని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే నెగిటివ్ ఇండెక్స్ ఏంటి? -1 కదా. ఎన్ యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే నెగిటివ్ ఇండెక్స్ ఏంటి? -2 కదా. -3, -4, -5 ఆ విధంగా వెళ్తుంది అనమాట. సో లెట్స్ చెక్ దట్. అడ్రస్ of. So seems like there is a typo here. We just have to give same variable name here. Address of 0. As per this, what value it is stored at 0th index? S only, right? I am expecting S as the output. Let's see what output you will get. I am getting S. If I give 4th index position, 4th index position, I am getting N. Is it N? Because nth index position is 4 only, right here. Clear now, guys?
Clear.
So if I want to access G, access last character or G. Okay. I want to access this character from this string. Positive index use చేసి ఎలా యాక్సెస్ చేద్దాం చూద్దాం ఫస్ట్. Positive index use చేస్తే add of what is the index position of this one in the positive way? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5. So if you want to access this by using negative index, so అంటే ఇక్కడ నెగటివ్ ఇవ్వటం అనమాట, నెగిటివ్ నెంబర్, ఐ మీన్ మైనస్ తో ఇవ్వాలి ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్. అంటే -1 కదా ఇక్కడ, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So here, if I want to access it, what value I have to give? -1, right? LD of -1. Clear? Am I getting G? See, I am able to access G in two ways, in forward way and backward way of providing index. In forward way, this index position is 5. In backward way, this index position is -1. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So do not worry. I'm going in depth about this again later, but just giving you the syntax introduction here. That's it. How string is look like, how do you access individual character from the string or individual character from the tuple or individual character from the list. Okay. Indexing is the concept. Just after whenever you are discussing about sequence, sequence is nothing but store data in the form of one order by using the index position internally. You will remember like that. That's why I'm giving introduction. Python list data type. Python list data type. Lists are just like arrays declared in other language in order to store collection of data. See, whenever you are dealing with the collection of data, that time we can go with the list here, similar data. For example, here colors is the variable name. Okay, equal to this is the list here. If I go here, paste here. Oh my God, this code's coming as some other codes. So let me rearrange this. It is a list of strings because inside list we have string data type. We call it as a list of string terminology. When I refer these colors, am I able to fetch the value what I have stored in the variable or not? I am getting it, right? This is how we create a list in Python. Whenever we see this kind of brackets and seeing this kind of syntax, this one we call it as a list actually. So it is also same guys, accessing elements in forward direction 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In backward direction -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. Clear? Like string only because string, tuple, list all are comes under the sequence types. If it is a sequence type, you can access the element by providing the index position like this with this syntax. So if I want to access, let's say blue color, right? Colors of where it blue colors, which index position blue stored? 0, 1, 2, right? This is one item in list point of view. Okay, now previously we just discussed about string data type. Okay, now we are discussing list of strings. So inside this list, this is one item, this is another item, this is another item. Okay, now if I say colors of 3, colors of 3. At the third index, what value stored, guys? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If I give 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, I am expecting yellow color as output. Am I getting it? If you go again, if I want to access the blue color, I can give 2. I'm getting it or not. It is like a string only, right? Yeah, you practice it, you will get to know exactly. So like this, in order to access it, access red color. Here red color is print color of 0. 0 means red color only coming, right? Access blue color, color of 2. Second index position is this one, right? In this index, this value is stored. We will get the blue color as output here. Next thing is Python tuple data type. Python tuple data type. Python tuples are data structure that store an order of sequence of values like list only, guys. Only difference is we use these brackets. to create a tuple actually. So list is a mutable object, tuple is a immutable object. What is mutable, what is immutable, we are going to discuss later classes. This is not about saying about that. Okay, we will create a tuple like this. Let's say, let's take this as an example. Let me copy this into this one. Creating tuple object. Example. Let's say here vowels equal to A, E, I, O, U are the vowels, right, guys? These are the constants, right? These are not going to change at all. Vowels means these are the vowels only. That's why we are using tuple. Tuple is read only. We cannot change once created. That's why. Let me type this. Let me type vowels. I'm just referring this variable. I'm just printing whatever it has stored. Am I getting or not? So now someone tell me, whoever is interested, how do I access O character? Which index I have to give? 0,
3.
1, 2, 3. Very good. 3. Exactly. How do you access U character?
Last.
Vowels. Tell me guys, how do you, sorry,
4.
vowels of 4. Very good. U, right? If I give -1, will I get or not?
Yes.
How do you access I character? 0,
-3.
1.
-3.
Yeah. Okay. Minus. Negative forward, backward access. -1, -2, -3. Very good. -3. If you want to access through positive index, how do you access? 0, 1, 2, right? Positive access. Vowels of 2. I'm getting I only, right? ఇది ఏమన్నా డౌట్ ఉందా ఇక్కడ? ఏం లేదు. మనమేమో ఫస్ట్ నెగిటివ్ యాక్సెస్ ఇండెక్సింగ్ యూజ్ చేసి ఐని ఫెచ్ చేసాము. నెగిటివ్ ఇండెక్సింగ్ ప్రకారం ఏంది? ఐ ఏ ఇండెక్స్ లో ఉంది? -1, -2, -3 లో ఉంది. అదే నేను పాజిటివ్ ఇండెక్స్ కదా ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చింది. పాజిటివ్ ఇండెక్స్ ప్రకారం ఏ ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ లో ఉంది? 0, 1, 2 ఇచ్చాను కాబట్టి వచ్చింది. గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్? ఐ జస్ట్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ యూ నెగిటివ్ ఇండెక్సింగ్ అండ్ పాజిటివ్ ఇండెక్సింగ్. ఓకే, క్లియర్ దిస్ పాయింట్?
Clear.
So this concept we call it as a indexing. Indexing is nothing but the providing index position to fetch the appropriate value from this collection of items. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మల్టిపుల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇది ఒక్కొక్కటి ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఒక్కొక్క ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ మ్యాప్ చేసుకుని ఉంటుంది కదా. ఆ ఇండెక్స్ ఇస్తే ఆ ఇండెక్స్ మ్యాప్ అయిన వాల్యూ మనకు అవుట్పుట్ లో ఇచ్చేస్తా, అంతే. ఇక్కడ ఏం లేదు. సో దీని గురించి మళ్ళీ డీటెయిల్ గా డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. టపుల్ ఇలా ఉంటది, ఇలా యాక్సెస్ చేస్తాం టపుల్ వాల్యూస్ కూడా. ఇదిగో ఇప్పుడే కదా డిస్కస్ చేసినాం. ఇప్పుడు AEIOU ఉంది టపుల్, రైట్? ఇది AEIOU యాక్సెస్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ద టపుల్. AEIOU యాక్సింగ్ ఫస్ట్ ఐటమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద టపుల్. ఈ ఏని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఓవెల్స్ ఆఫ్ 0నే కదా. ఏ అనేది 0 ఇండెక్స్ లోనే కదా స్టోర్ అయింది. చూడండి, ఇండెక్స్ అనేది 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. ఏ ఆఫ్ 1 అంటే సెకండ్ ఐటమ్. ఈ 1 ఇండెక్స్ లో స్టోర్ అయింది, సెకండ్ ఇండెక్స్ లో స్టోర్ అయింది. ఒక సీక్వెన్స్ లో స్టోర్ అవుతాయి అనమాట వాల్యూస్. 0 నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి ఎండ్ వరకు ఉంటది సీక్వెన్స్. బూలియన్ డేటా టైప్. జనరల్లీ బూలియన్ డేటా టైప్ అంటే ఏమంటే మనకి ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్ ఉంటుంది, ఏదర్ ట్రూ ఆర్ ఫాల్స్. సో ఎట్లా అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ జనరల్లీ యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ ద లాజికల్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్. ఈజ్ మేనేజర్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఈజ్ మేనేజర్ ట్రూ. ఈజ్ మేనేజర్ is equal to false. Whenever we have this kind of scenarios, interrogation, either he is a manager, either he is not a manager, right? True, yes, he is a manager. His manager is equal to false. No, he is not a manager, right? So whenever you are doing some kind of a is kind of thing, conditions based, that time we deal with the Boolean data type actually. True means some true, yeah, he's a manager. False means, yeah, no, he's not a manager, something. But generally, we use this in the if condition general. When we are dealing with the comparison and some logical and or, we output is always be in the form of Boolean data types. While discussing about operators, we will discuss about this Boolean again. So generally, Boolean in the sense true or false. That's it. If you type type of is manager, it's a bool value, right? If it is true or false, it considers as a bool data type internally. Clear, guys? It is highlighted with orange color also. That means that it's a Python keyword, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Bob.
Yeah. See, examples of Boolean data type. Create a variable to store Boolean value true or false. Is approver true? When I is approver, I am getting output true. Is approver is equal to false. When I refer is getting false. Generally, you want to store it. If you are the CM, true. If you are not CM, false, right? So whenever you want to store this kind of data, that time you go for the Boolean actually. If you are inspector, true. If you are not if you are inspector, false. Really, if you are inspector, that time value will be true. If you are not the inspector, value will be false. Like this. Based on that, you want to do some operation, we go with the Boolean. Okay, Python dictionary type. So dictionary seems like this, guys. Dictionary. Dictionary example. Dictionary example. Let's say person detail equal to. So if it is a person details, we know that name person will have name, right? Name is equal to, let's say, Bhadra. Okay. So DOB, date of birth, right? DOB, date of birth, colon, some date. Let me extract this one. Some date of birth. For example, like this, you can store any number of key values. See, I am opening curly bracket open, curly bracket close. Inside this, I added a one key pair and another key pair. I have two items in the dictionary. This is one item. This is another item. Dictionary stores data in the form of key and value pair. Key and value pair. So if you want to access the name of this person, I can simply refer this key. If I give this key, I will get the output of that key. If I give DO, I want to get the date of birth. I can simply give the date of birth key. Like this, DOB. Okay. I will get the date of birth. So in case of sequence objects, we provide the index position and get the data. But dictionary stores data in the form of key and value pair. Key and value pair. Like this, you can have any number of key pairs inside this. As of now, we have only two. So if you want to access this dictionary data, we provide key, whatever associated value we have, that is going to be written in the output. Clear, guys, this part?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. See, this is the syntax. Variable name, key 1, value 1, key 2, value 2. And another way of defining dictionary, but it's okay. But see it here, name and age. For create a dictionary, store address. Address also you can create in the form of dictionary, right? There is a named labels, right? Flat number, pin code, landmark, city. My address of flat number means you will get this output. My address of pin code means you will get this out. My address of city means you will get this output. Yes or no? Store data in the form of key colon value. This is one item, this is another item, this is another item, this is another item. company. For example, company details. Company name Ipro, location Hyderabad, department operation. If you have this variable, how do you access location? Company of location, company of Hyderabad, location, company of department, company of company name. Do you want me to do another example? Let me take this just to provide here. Let me take another example. Data is equal to dictionary open close A colon 1 comma B colon 2 comma C colon some random string. For example, this is how we have. I want to print. I want to access this value. How do we access it? It's a dictionary, right? If it is dictionary, we have to provide the key of this value, right? C, I have to provide C. I am getting this data of, if I type, I want to access 3, how do you access it? You need to provide the key, right? C. Clear? These are the keys. These are the value for this key. Key, value for this key. So in order to access this value, we have to provide key like this. Clear, guys? This example. Yeah. So sets, the set is there. We will discuss this in some other class. Definitely, it also looks like dictionary, but it stores data not like a key value pair. We use same brackets like this. It is used to maintain the unique values. We will discuss that part anyhow.